Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to the Games and Culture channel. I guess we counted this last year as a podcast, I think.
Yeah,
So
we
this
did.
would be episode 43,
I think so, yeah.
44, 43. I'm locking in
One of the 2.
43. I'm locking in 43.
Yeah, I think you're
Let
right.
let me know if I was wrong in the comments. But we're doing our publisher tier list. We did it last year. Everybody seemed to like it. We enjoyed doing it. So it's part one of our 3-part 2025 wrap up series. Next episode we will do kind of a reflection of the year as a whole with like the different news stories and stuff. We won't be talking about layoffs as much because there was half as many, which is good. Not great, but good. And then capping the end of January off with our game of the year video. We're putting a hard stop on it this year, so we don't have last year's problem of waiting until February. We have a hard stop. Nick and I are finishing up games that we want to add to the list right now.
I'm on my last 2, basically. I'm doing Ball Pit on a Switch too, which I'm almost done with that, and then Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
So
I am doing Seance of Blake Manor, and I'm going to try to finish Yakuza Pirate Yakuza. So those are my last 2 of the year. I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm not going to be able to finish it. That game is so tense. It's really good. I understand why the RPG fans are mad. It's very good, but I'm not going to be able to finish it. So here's a wink and nod to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's the
that's
best
tough.
Bethesda game I've ever played.
That's what I
Um,
feel. That's how I feel about Silksong right now. I don't think I'm not gonna be able to finish it in time. So
yeah, it's very good. Go enjoy it. It just won Game of the Year for the Steam Games Awards. So very good. Best soundtrack did go, of course, to Claire Obscure. So happy to see that. But yeah, we'll get into the publishers. So we have all the major publishers listed below. Really, this is really all that really needs to be seen. Some of the smaller names are not listed on here, but that's okay. They probably didn't do much anyways. But we got the major ones out here. And then we have a blanket indie publisher. That's your Team Cherries, your Super Giants, all those things. And we've also included quote unquote indie publishers like Raw Fury, Devolver, and Kepler in those as well, because we didn't really know where to put them, because indies are supposed to not have publishers, but those publishers only publish indie games, so to speak. So it's really weird. So we're gonna go pick a publisher to talk about, add them to the tier list, and why they should be there. And we're gonna do our best to come to a consensus, because I feel like a couple of these we might have some differing opinions on. But Nick, go ahead and pick one, and we'll start off.
let's go with Sega. Sega was our winner last year. So let's go with Sega. Let's start with
Sega
them.
was our winner last year. I feel like this was a pretty quiet year from Sega this year.
Mm-hmm.
We had some Yakuza re-releases with Yakuza Kiwami 3, as well as Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and Pirate Yakuza. From Atlas, we had Raidao Remastered. There was the like typical like football manager 26 bullshit. Persona 5 the Phantom X also released here in the West. um and Demon Slayer, the Hikami Chronicles 2, if you really love those anime arena fighters. They had Shinobi Art of the Vengeance, which was really cool, a 2D reimagining of the classic franchise. And then they ended the year with probably their biggest title, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So I did say it was a quiet year. They did have a decent amount of releases, but like it wasn't as
No big
earth shattering
splashes.
as last year. Yeah.
Yeah, with Metaphor, and Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
And
I mean,
Sonic Cross Shadows
yeah,
Generations,
yep.
Metaphor and Sonic both selling 1 million copies in their first day. So we didn't really have anything
I mean,
on that scale this year.
yeah. Sega had both our games of the year winner last year, so
Mm-hmm.
definitely not. They're definitely not doing that this year. It's a quieter year. There's some releases, a lot of re-releases. Um, definitely more. I feel like a a dev year, I guess you could say, because a lot of the other stuff were out, so they're kind of getting stuff recycled and getting things ready for another big year. They'll have another big year again. I'm sure of it. I'm not
Yeah.
worried of them at all.
I'm not.
But
I don't think this is a bad year by any means. It's just a little bit more tempered year from them specifically.
yeah, not every year can be 2024 for Sega. That's just not
Yeah,
possible.
I mean, you
Um,
really enjoyed Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I personally haven't played it. Yakuza Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza is a fever dream in the best ways. So I mean, two big releases. I played the opening to Raidou. I definitely wanted to devote more time to it, but like it just didn't grip me right out of the gate. And I definitely want to play Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I just didn't get a chance to. So I would say low A tier until we
I
get
was
some
thinking
more
high.
names up there.
I was thinking high B just because like I feel like B is like the average, because it's the middle of the pack, and it's like it was an average year, just a coasting year for them. So I feel like B is like the coasting zone.
I would still say it was an above average year because Sonic Racing Cross Worlds definitely ate Mario Kart World's lunch in terms of quality of kart racing game.
That's true.
So that's why I was thinking more so low A, high B tier, somewhere in there until we get a couple more names on there.
I guess we can
Just
start there, but you're low A, high B. We'll put them in A for now, but it might go down.
yeah, and they got some good stuff in the works. I mean, Virtual Fighters coming back. Um, RGG's is working on that. They announced the Persona 4 Revival project. And then whatever like a Dragon 9's gonna be like that's gonna be sick.
All right,
Um, let's
your
do
pick
an
now.
easy one. Let's just get let's get Riot out of the way.
Well, so you know more. Well, I have a little bit of I guess opinion on Riot now because of 2XKO, but
Yeah.
you have a bit more because of League of Legends,
So
obviously.
I don't know anything about Valorant. This will not be factored into this conversation. League of Legends. They tried some new stuff this year. Switching to a battle pass formula, even
No,
though they already had one. It was like a seasonal battle pass formula, and they stumbled really early, taking away loot boxes. They put those back in. They're the good kind of loot boxes that you just get, like you earn. So they're part of the battle pass now. That's fine. They released a few stupid new champions and one really balanced one. They added some gimmicks that onto the playing field that they're already removing for next season. So all in all, it was fine. It was fine, I guess. Um,
fine.
2XKO did quote unquote release kind of this year.
Yeah, that's not now my biggest like connection to them now is 2XKO to play a lot of fighting games. Um, the Pueblo it is it does feel good. Like there are other fighting games that I feel bad to play. 2XKO is not among them. My biggest with 2XKO is just there's no everything is like smash direction button. There's no motion inputs at all, which is kind of like for me. But it is getting some steam now on people just to enjoy it, and they're finally on console. That was the biggest odd thing for them. I don't understand why you didn't do a
Day one
universal.
release on PlayStation.
Yeah, because that's where fighting is like really live. But you're fixing it next month. Well, this month actually. It's January, so sometime this month they'll finally put it on console. Um, so it does seem like they're doing some okay moves. I don't want to weigh 2XKO that heavy just because that's not their bread and butter. League is. Valorant seems to kick in. So I mean, um, what it sounds like you're saying, I'm guessing they would probably be tier then. Where you're saying, I think it's where.
Oh, I was gonna say C tier. I,
Re-
I was gonna say C
really,
tier. I
really,
they are not a small indie studio anymore. That's
no,
my
they've
thing.
never been.
They, I mean, at one point they were, but
Yeah,
they have not been for a very long time. When you can invest like $200 million in making a show about your marquee game, you ain't no fucking indie dev anymore. You definitely could be doing more. Why
no,
wasn't why wasn't 2XKO released on consoles? Why uh why does why does League's mobile game look better than the PC game? Like there's so many reasons why they could just be straight up doing more and making more money as a result. So this is kind of a until you realize your own potential, I'm you're not gonna earn full marks. Like it's ridiculous. It's
okay.
ridiculous.
Okay.
It's 2XKO is a free to play fighting game. You should be putting that shit everywhere because that's how you're gonna make your money. And the number one platform for fighting games is PlayStation. I'm surprised they didn't also release it on the Switch, since since multiplayer games just naturally go with the Switch in like a local multiplayer format. Like you want this
Yeah.
in front of as many eyes as humanly possible. Like you should know that because all of your games are free to play.
Yeah, and like I mean, maybe the Switch One couldn't handle 2x scale. Like I feel like it could, but maybe it couldn't. This Switch Two can handle it just fine. There's no way it shouldn't. So yeah, I get
I'm
what you're saying.
imagining the Switch One probably could handle it at like 30 FPS, but Switch Two could definitely handle it at 60 FPS and be fine.
For a fighting game, 60 FPS is not handling it. That is objective.
I mean,
So
that's fair. That's fair.
yeah. So yeah, okay. Well, I'll go see for Riot. I'm not that invested in them, so well, I'll see to that.
And the
Uh,
League of Legends World Championships weren't as hype as last year's, so that also you also lose marks from that. How do you top Lincoln Park in the O2 Arena? I don't know, but you got to figure it out. You made that choice. You got to figure it out.
valid. All right, we'll move on. Let's go with let's go with the big old Capcom.
Capcom is. I feel like Capcom's story this year is a tale of 2 years, right? So you had like exciting stuff like Resident Evil Requiem, and
Being announced.
Pragmata getting their release dates and stuff. But then everything they released this year kind of like stumbled a bit.
Yeah, because you're
Uh,
the bigger. I didn't play Monster Hunter World, not World Wilds that much. You are a big Monster Hunter fan here, and from what it sounds like you said, you're kind of disappointed by it.
yeah, I'm extremely disappointed by it. So I like all the changes to the gameplay that they made for the most part. I think it's. I mean, you could check out the video where Nick played one session with me. Getting into a party together is the hardest thing in Monster Hunter Wilds. It like truly is, and that doesn't make any sense. um, but then also too, the performance is not really great on PC. The in-game content, they didn't really add much to it. Now granted, there's been a year's worth of updates and I haven't played most of them, but like there shouldn't have to be that many. Like World was pretty decent out of the box, and so was Rise. The end games were a little bit lacking, but they pretty quickly listened to feedback and got back on it. And they're just ignoring PC, which I think is their second largest market at this point, for sure. And
Maybe the
so for
first, honestly.
no, I think PlayStation still is, but like the I think it was the executive producer of Monster Hunter Wilds came out and said like, "Oh, Monster Hunter Wilds didn't sell as well because the PlayStation price is so high." And it's like, no, you didn't put out a fully optimized, fully realized vision of the game that you wanted to create. That's why people aren't buying it. That's why
And
people
also that
played it and then stopped playing it.
and those are the excuses don't work because you did release it on PC day and date for this time around, unlike
Yes.
Rise and World.
And
So
they're in Japan, who didn't have their PlayStations increase in price, I don't believe, or if they did, it was not that much.
yeah.
So,
So no. What else
so
did they
that
release this year?
that started
Besides,
their year, and the only other two releases they had were Capcom Fighting Collection 2 and the Onimusha 2 remastered.
yeah. And then there
So
was
they've got.
also there.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Honestly, there's also the issue on the only game I really heavily interacted with them this year was Street Fighter Six. Um, and the ongoing issue of that game is the content for that game is sparse. So it's not like the same around the world. It's very sparse. They don't put out stuff enough for that game.
Yeah.
So it sounds like across the board, this is a struggle year for Capcom. Then,
Yeah,
um,
this is an in between year because I mean next year they already have blockbuster set up. Pragmata I think is going to do pretty well. Evil Requiem comes out here in like 8 weeks, and that's going to obviously do really well. Monster Hunter Stories 3 comes out in March. That's my presumptive game of the year for 2026. Like they already have shit ready to go. They announced a new Mega Man as well. Like they have shit ready to go. This just seems to be like it was an in between year, and I think they really counted on Monster Hunter Wilds to carry them through because Monster Hunter is their best selling franchise, well, best selling game. Monster Hunter World is their best selling game, and I think they really needed Wilds to carry through the year, and it didn't.
True, but we can't count. We can't count Pragmata and Resident Evil in this
Yeah,
because they're not out yet. So we have to base on what they did. So from everything we're saying, I think they should go in C tier
yeah.
because
C stands for Capcom.
yeah, just because I mean like it wasn't like they put out some stuff, but like the game should not have been better than what they were. So I feel like B is too high. So yeah, I think C is fair for them.
It's one new game and two collections / remasters. Like that's a
Yeah,
light year, and I think they really did need Monster Hunter Wilds to carry them through, but not
that's fair.
today. Maybe next year. Oh yeah, because then they have the new Onimusha that's supposed to come out next year too. So yeah, next year's gonna be great for Capcom. Look forward to putting them up higher on the list, but it ain't your year
Not
this
this
year,
year.
Capcom.
Nope. All right, well, your pick.
Um, let's do a bad one. Let's do Embracer Group.
I'm not even 100% aware of what they did this year.
Probably nothing.
I didn't feel like they did as much this year. Well, they're just kind of flailing about again. Were they
I
publisher
mean,
for Mind's Eye? I don't think they were.
no, they were not the publisher of Mind's Eye.
I was gonna say they were. Dee!
They're not the publisher of Mind's Eye, thankfully.
Automatic D if it was.
Yeah, so I mean, they announced some new Tomb Raider stuff, but those are actually being published by Amazon.
Yes, that's what Amazon. Next year we'll talk. I guess Amazon. Then we'll see how Tomb Raider does. I'm excited for Tomb Raider.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that they didn't. They didn't. They didn't do a whole lot here. Release Is it possible that they didn't do anything this year? That would be cool.
For how many studios they have, I hope they did something.
Okay, yeah, no, they did. They did some things.
Okay. Okay.
So, their publisher arm Aspire re-released Tomb Raiders 4, 5, and 6 earlier this year, as well as Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. So that's good. Let me see here. Deep Silver's also under their arm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Deep Silver is who published Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so
Yes.
that's really good.
That's really good.
Helps. Yeah, that definitely helps.
They're out of D tier now. Okay, they're moving up.
Yeah, they're out of D tier now. And looks like they did Metro Awakening VR as well. That one came from Vertigo, which is part of Embracer Group. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Okay.
a bunch of PS1 remasters and
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come. Actually, hold on. THQ Nordic is under them as well. They put out SpongeBob's Titans of the Tide, which I've heard is pretty good, actually. They also put out the Sacred 2 remaster. I've heard that's not very good.
Ooh.
And so now that's it. That's
okay.
It.
So for what you describe, I think a B tier is good for them, just because, like, Kingdom Deliverance is a high bar. Like that's what's really carrying through the year.
It's a Game of the Year nominated game.
Yeah. But for how many studios they had, it doesn't seem like they did a whole lot. So maybe I should, bring back a little bit. And a lot of it was just, you said PS1 re-releases, so it's kind of like, okay, for how much you have, I feel like you should be doing more. But what you did do was actually pretty okay. So I feel like B is a safe spot for them.
Yeah. Also, I think IO Interactive is under them as well, and
Oh,
they added a Hitman DLC where you're hired by Eminem to kill Slim Shady, and I think that's pretty crazy.
that's funny. That's
So,
that's hilarious.
so yeah, I think B tier is fine for them, carried mostly by Kingdom Come
You know,
Deliverance. The dialogue in that
That's fair.
game is insanely good.
That's what I've heard. I've heard.
Is insanely good.
Okay, well, I guess we can move on. I'll just do SNK real fast because the
Yeah.
only thing they released this year was Fatal Fury, Steve of the Wolves. So they won Best Fighting Game, but considering their competition, it was kind of like the only thing they were the ones who couldn't win because 2XCO was not officially out. Um, I'm telling you this much: like if Fatal Fury came out this year with 2XCO having their official release this year, Invincible Versus, the Avatar fighting game, Marvel Token, they wouldn't be winning it this year.
Yeah,
Absolutely
for
not.
sure.
So you won it by default. Fatal Fury is a good game. I would say mechanically, Fatal Fury is a really good game, but they made some dumb decisions. Why the fuck is Cristiano Ronaldo a character? Oh, that's right, Saudi money.
Saudi money.
Yeah. There was some stench on Fatal Fury, but it again wins the game fighting of the year by default. Um, so the one thing they had was okay, but because of the other issues they have, I think they should be C tier.
I mean, that's fine. I personally don't have a big horse in this race. The other two releases that they did have were old games repackaged to sell today. So, Real Bout Fate of Fury 2, The Newcomers, and Kazuna Encounters Super Tag Battle. So,
Fair enough.
C tier is fine by me. Let's do WB. Let's do
What a
World
while,
Championship.
Robert. WP.
What a what a
Jesus. What
what
a
a what a time,
as a
America.
company. As a company, what the fuck?
I actually
These guys.
don't think they have any new releases this year. I think they're actually they don't. I don't think they released a single game this year.
Uh-oh. There's if that, and on top of also killing Mortal Kombat. Because
Yeah,
they announced.
They didn't release a single game this year.
Damn. So
So
I think D is justified
yeah,
because no games. They ran Mortal Kombat into the ground.
yep,
So much to the point that Evo
has
their game announcement
dropped them.
dropped them, but they dropped them while increasing the number of games. Like that's bad. Yeah.
That's yep. That's a ah shit moment.
Yeah. And now that Netflix and Paramount are breathing down their neck, it's gonna be a rough time for WB. I mean, I will say the movie side of them, we're talking about games, so
yeah.
DC Comics are doing okay, but that's a different story. They are releasing the Lego Batman game this year, though.
Yes.
That looks really good.
Yes. It looks very very good. If that is the only game they release this year, it probably will be for the best.
Yeah.
Just release one really really good one. Everybody, you'll land in like the B tier category, and we'll be like, yeah, good job, and then we'll move on real quick. You don't want us to linger on your games. That's where you run into issues. You don't want us to linger.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll do Epic real fast then. I mean, it really just did Fortnite again this year. There wasn't really a whole lot of other
Yeah.
stuff they were doing. I mean, Alan Wake 2 was 2023, and that was their last game I think they really published, I think. And the Epic Game Store is still floundering. That thing's just a Fortnite launcher. Fortnite of itself, Chapter 6 was actually really good. I'll give them that. Chapter 6 was really good. Chapter 5 was a bit let down. But Chapter 6, they turned around. I did. The event they had to end Chapter 6 was amazing. I think I sent you a clip of it on Discord, and it's it's freaking end game shit. Where it's like, yeah, that's what you should be doing when you have all the rights to these franchises.
Yes.
So I'll give them that. There's been like little monetization things. I'm like kind of scratching my head on like they added these little things where you can have a sidekick running around with you the entire
Yeah.
time, which
Yep.
the idea, even SpongeBob's a sidekick, which is funny. The big issue with those things, like SpongeBob and some other things, like they're only single style, so it's fine. But like some skins have alternate styles, but they come with the skin. The sidekicks have some of the sidekicks have alternate styles, but you can only change it once. And if you want to change the style, you have to buy it again.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Um,
Also, why is Kim
so
Kardashian a skin with 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 an emote where she broke the internet with her ass? Like, why is that? Why is that a thing?
I rolled my eyes as soon as I saw it in the shop. I'm like, what the fuck? And you know what the sad part is? The sweat lords are using that skin a lot. I don't know why,
Does she
but
have like a smaller model so she's harder to hit or something?
I don't I think it's because like it's like a black like leotard or something like that, so it's blends in with the environment more.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. I use the K-pop Demon Hunter skin, so like actual people play Fortnite. The cool crossovers: K-pop, Godzilla, Hansei, Miku. They just added Back to the Future, and you can buy a DeLorean now,
Yeah,
which
I have
I
the
couldn't.
I have the Marty McFly skin. I use that one a lot.
Yeah, I bought the DeLorean. I couldn't. It's the DeLorean. Like, come on, the coolest time machine ever made.
So what you're telling me is when I use my black cat skin, I'm being a sweat because it's a black skin.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know.
Is that really how it
Less
works?
less said about the Kardashians, the better. Um, very weird that he was in the game, but whatever. Um,
Does
so
he
I was a
even
generous.
know what Fortnite is?
I don't know. Again, less said about her, the better. And all of them. Um, I don't know where to put that. I feel like the chapter was good, but they made some hiccups across the year with like specifically the sidekick thing. I think is the biggest hiccup they had. For the
Stick
most
him in
part, I
the
think they
C
did a
tier. Stick him
see.
below Riot. Yeah, stick him below Riot. Like Fortnite's fun. They did Power Rangers, which is really cool. Um, I do think that they really need to look at how they do things going forward, though, because you're right. The Epic Game Store is straight up just a Fortnite launcher. I think they really need to release Alan Wake on Steam. It's been 2 years since it's released now. I think it's and they've made back their money on it. So I think they need to do that. I think you need to really just understand the market of PC gaming, and you might earn a little bit of goodwill for people to actually use the Epic Game Launcher for more than just launching Fortnite. So
Mhm. Fair. All right, we'll leave them a C.
let's do one of the
Well,
big
let's
three. Let's do one of the big three next. Let's do PlayStation. I think PlayStation is the easiest of the big three to talk about.
yeah. I think they had an okay year. They just kind of, I mean, they released their two big games this year were Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yote. Both
Yep.
did really well.
Yep.
Um, the PlayStation as a brand, the console is selling okay. Like, you know, they were the last one of the three to really raise their console prices.
Yes.
All three of them had to do it. For part reasons, you know, agreed. Part reasons, you know, U.S. is stupid and elected an idiot for the presidency and all that shit. Um, so I get it. But for the most part, I think they just did okay. I mean, they didn't like a. It didn't feel like they made a huge splash this year, but they just did what PlayStation does and kept at it.
Yeah, I think it was a by the numbers year for PlayStation. I don't think anything they had was like super out of left field. I think this was like this is how you expect PlayStation to perform. They had a couple games in the conversation for game of the year. You know, they won Black Friday. The PlayStation 5 sold more than any other console during the Black Friday. We'll probably get numbers here soon for the holiday season as a whole, but for Black Friday specifically, they were the top selling console. Like everything went by the numbers for PlayStation, but to that end, when you're this far ahead, you know, you do worry about complacency and stuff. And I do think that there is a little bit of like resting on your laurels a little bit.
Little bit, but I feel like I mean I think I'm pretty sure A tier is the best spot for them, just because like yeah there is the word, but nothing bad happened,
Yeah.
so I don't feel like lowering them was justified. But yeah, I see the concern,
Yeah.
but it is a future concern.
Yeah. I would say high B tier. I do think I do think that, like I said, it's just by the numbers. I do appreciate their efforts to not raise prices. They waited so long because they knew this shit was going to go down, so they rushed a bunch of consoles into the United States to have ample supply, so that they could hold off on raising prices. Uh, and
I mean, I feel like that alone should put them in A tier for having the wherewithal to think that far ahead.
I mean, and that's fair. Um, yeah, you can keep them in A tier.
Low A, I think it's where it's just
I
it's
just
safe for them.
like you said,
I
I expect more out of PlayStation. That's really my thing. Like, this was just a by the numbers year. Like, we
true,
did
but
what we were supposed to do, instead of like we're doing everything we can.
yeah, and I think and I agree with you that like PlayStation that does lend a bit of complacency to them a little bit, but I guess is for it's a weird position. I don't want to grade PlayStation on a curve in a sense compared to everyone else because
That's
like
fair.
they're by the numbers is still an A tier, whereas other studios by the numbers is lower.
That's true.
So
That's fair. That's fair. We can keep them in the A tier then. That's fair.
let's go. You know what? Let's go Konami. They
Second year in a row that Konami is back in the gaming space.
and they're doing. They released two games I know off the top of my head, but maybe there was more. With Metal Gear Solid Delta and Silent Hill F. I
Um,
I didn't get a chance to play Metal Gear Solid Delta, but I did play Silent Hill F, and
I
Silent Hill F
have
is
not played Metal
fantastic.
Gear Solid Delta yet. I really want to. So yeah, they had Metal Gear Solid Delta, Silent Hill Elf F. They released a Gradius remake. Gradius is a shoot 'em up, and then they released video game based on the Eden Zero anime, and everything looks like it did pretty well. But their marquee releases. Um, Oh, and they also did that deliver at all costs, that funny like top down delivery game. Okay. Um they also did the Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. So honestly, right off the bat, that's gonna put them higher for me because some of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Games are part of that collection. This was a great year for Konami. I mean,
Yeah,
this
no,
if you just talk about Silent Hill F and Metal Gear Solid Delta, this would already be a super great year for for Konami.
yeah, I would say, I mean, definitely a turnaround because I mean, for a while there, for a while there, we weren't even doing D tier stuff. For a while there, you could say they were out of the game industry entirely.
Pachinko
Uh,
machines, yeah.
yeah. And like I said, I don't want to get to play their Silent Hill F, and honestly, Silent Hill F is better than Silent Hill 2 remake. Like Silent Hill F really impressed me. Um, its combat is probably not as good as 2, but the story I think is better. Um, so I think phenomenal job. Hopefully they stay the course and keep doing what they're doing. I think they can really go some places. I'm curious. I'm curious to see where Metal Gear goes because without Kojima at the helm is a very strange thing.
I
But
see.
Silent Hill,
Here's my thought canon. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I think they're gonna milk the series for what they can, and then they're gonna stop. Because I think
okay,
the moment you announce a new Metal Gear game, we're right back to Metal Gear Survive, and everybody's like, "Nah, man, you ain't got Kojima as a part of that. Fuck that, hell no." Because Kojima has kind of ingrained himself into the video game culture. Everybody loves Kojima.
hmm
Everybody loves Kojima. So I feel like all of us would feel like, yeah, I'm not gonna play a Metal Gear game that doesn't involve Kojima. Like, that's not how this is gonna go. Like, I think people only bought Metal Gear Solid Delta because it's Metal Gear Solid 3, which was helmed
yeah,
by Kojima.
true.
And it sounds
I
like,
feel
from everybody that's played it, it sounds like they just faithfully remade it. Like, even use not even recording voiceovers. They just kept the original voiceovers. Like, they just remade it. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I think here in a couple years we'll see Metal Gear Solid 4 remade and finally released on systems that aren't called the PlayStation 3. And I think maybe we get a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, or and maybe a 2 remaster or something, and then that's where they call it, like, they make the easy money and then go away.
okay. I feel like high A tier is they would ever belong with all this stuff. I think they're in a good position. So I think high A tier is where they I
I
think in the same
agree.
spot.
I'm less curious about what's going to happen to Metal Gear Solid. I'm more curious at what happens with the rest of their properties. Like, where's
True.
Castlevania at? You've already released
True.
all the games, so where's Castlevania going to go? Silent Hill. You've committed to making new Silent Hill games, so I feel like that franchise is going to continue to flourish. Um, where is That's pretty much it. Where's Castlevania? You got Metal Gear Solid. I wonder what. I think you're just gonna stick to remasters for that one. Um, I know they're making a new Suikoden game that comes out next year. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they decide to go. Because for the last couple years they've just really been releasing re re-release stuffs, and there's been a couple like heavy hitter new stuff. So we'll see. Exciting times for Capcom. I hope they stick to it, um, and and give us back some of those franchises. Like I think a new Contra game would kick ass if done
Yeah.
correctly.
True. I agree. Well, I guess let's move on. Who do you think next?
Let's knock out Take Two.
Uh, they did NBA 2K and
Yep, they
delayed
sure
GTA
did.
6 a month. It did delayed GTA 6 as a tradition.
Oh, that's not true. They also did Borderlands 4 because 2K.
Oh yeah, I forgot
They
about that.
they
I know you
also
just play
did
it.
Borderlands 4. They
Okay.
also did Borderlands 4. Um,
Okay.
but considering that you forgot it and I forgot it, that's probably not a good sign for them. They also did Mafia: The Old Country as well. That released this year. I think and WWE 2K25 and PGA Tour 2K25 and Civ 7 are all under
Oh,
2K.
that's a pretty decent
Uh,
year then.
so that's under the 2K umbrella. Um, looking at, and then obviously Rockstar, they delayed Grand Theft Auto 5.
You mean 6? 5 has been out for 12
Grand Theft Auto
years.
6. Yeah, sorry. Grand Theft Auto 6.
How they delay a
I
game was
was
already
reading
out, but
Grand
they'll
Theft
find a
Auto
way.
5. So yeah, so a little bit more than NBA 2K26. Honestly, I feel like that a little bit more saves them from the D tier.
Yeah, no, that honestly moved them up. I because of Borderlands 4 and all that stuff, I could see an argument for high B, low A.
I'm gonna say high C. I think they should go above Riot because Borderlands 4 is fine. I hadn't
Okay.
finished it. I played a lot of it though. It's fine. I think I weirdly think that they went too open world with it. Like I wish that they'd go back to the like concentrated level design of like 1 and 2. Mafia: The Old Country. I've never played any of the Mafia games, but I've heard good things about this one. It seemed like it was okay. But then, and I think those two games would put it in the B tier, but then you have to bring it down because of PGA, WWE, and NBA. Like it's just you can't understate that those games suck.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't have a huge horse in the race. I mean, maybe I can see low B then. I don't know, because I feel like Borderlands 4 is still a solid enough release to justify not being in C tier. Um,
My argument to high C tier is that we both forgot Borderlands 4. And I
that's fair,
think
but I can also
I think being forgettable is worse than being bad. Because at least when
uh,
you're bad, people are still talking about you. When you're forgettable,
eh, uh, whatever. I don't have a strong opinion after the race to argue to try and put him in low B. So whatever. I see is fine.
yeah, high C is fine. If C gets overcrowded, we can bump them up to B. But I think high C is fine. Um, just because you have to factor in Civ
Mhm.
7. Civ 7 people have said is not very good because the way they release Civilization games is they release it in a broken, buggy state and then constantly fix it and add updates. And so the final version of Civilization is always really good, but by the time you get to the final version, they're already announcing the next one, and they just repeat the whole cycle. It's been the same with Civ 5 and 6.
Oops.
So Civ 7 is just repeating that cycle from everything I've heard. So
Okay. I guess we can move on. Let's go EA.
ugh.
Split
Ugh.
Fiction.
Damn, that's a good point.
I mean, like
And
that's
so EA had a really strong year this year. Let's I feel like this is one of the ones where we're gonna have to work through it. So Split Fiction, obviously, we both enjoyed that. You can watch our full playthrough on the channel. EA Split Fiction is fucking great. They also did F125, EA Sports Madden 2026, the free to play Skate, EA Sports FC 26, Battlefield 6,
a big one.
and Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. So, Battlefield 6 and Split Fiction, I feel like do bump this up quite a bit. Sports
Yes.
games will always pull you back down, but then I think about them being bought by the Saudis. So we have to answer the question, does political shit factor into this? Because if it does, I don't think we can go higher than like a C, and that's off the back of me loving Split Fiction.
And like both of us are not big Battlefield. First, and Battlefield 6 is a return to form for the franchise, and it's doing really well.
Yes.
Um,
Still having
here's
hundreds of thousands of concurrent players, even
here's
several
the
months after release.
here's the thing. I'm gonna put what I think. I think they should go Pi B.
Okay.
Just because I understand the Saudi thing. I totally get it. We had a whole discussion about this before. But we are talking about the game specifically.
That's true.
The games they released for the most part were solid. Yeah, the Madden and the FIFAs or FC, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're gonna drag them back down. That's what brings them to B tier. But as a Split Fiction is phenomenal. Battlefield 6, well, not our cup of tea. We understand like this is a return for the franchise. It's actually smacking around Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
Like they made good moves. Like that's just not. I don't really have a way to argue that. So I don't feel like the Sony thing is awful, but I feel like it shouldn't weigh too heavily in this discussion here because that's not what this is about.
That's fair. I would agree with that. If we're just talking about the games developed, I would agree that a B is perfectly fine. I will bet money that that's probably the last B they're gonna get.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I
As-
can imagine in
as
future
the-
years.
as the human rights violations start.
Yep, it's probably the best they're gonna do in a long time. So, bye EA, I guess. That was quite a year to go out on.
I mean, buy yeah, buy a lot of shit. We can knock out Valve. They didn't release anything this year.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Dialogue go into early access this year?
That was last year, I believe.
Oh, when it was last year, it went into the thing. Okay, I thought it was this year. Sony released it. Okay. Shit. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot. They announced they didn't seem to stick around. They announced the Steam machines, but still, that's still a next year, this year thing, I guess, 2026 thing. So, I don't want to put them in D tier WB because Valve isn't like shitting the bed. Valve's just kind of coasting along like they always do.
Yeah, I mean, they're still updating. Actually, they're still updating Counter Strike and Dota and stuff like that. And actually, I will say they actually stuck it to the Counter Strike skin gamblers by like knocking all of their value out by like releasing other skins and stuff like that. So I'd put them in the low C tier. They didn't release anything. Low C,
Okay.
they can stay out of the D because they're still
running Steam, and Steam's
still
goated.
running Steam, and Steam Deck's awesome still and selling well. So yeah, they can stay out of the D tier, but fucking release some games, Valve. Come on. Stop being afraid of the number 3.
That's fair. Let's go. I'm gonna go Netties.
Yeah.
So really, the big thing was continue to do Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
But what else did they do? Did they do anything else before we place them?
They are the publisher for Where Winds Meet, which is a new open world action adventure free to play game, kind of in line with like Genshin Impact and stuff. and people have been ranting and raving about it. I've not played it, but it looks really really cool. They also did a new battle royale called Blood Strike. Not heard
Think about
anything
that.
about that. They also were the publisher for Supervive, and that's already going under, so that sucks. Supervive was actually really cool. It was like a top-down MOBA battle royale. It was really really cool. I played it in beta. It fully released over the summer, and they were already shuttering it. It was from X Riot devs too, so that's a bummer. But yeah, so I think their two big ones were Marvel Rivals, obviously, which is still going strong, and Where Winds Meet, which is doing quite well. So
Yeah, I feel like then this is where they should go because these are the ethical failures. Um, I have some issues with Marvel Rivals on the development side of it. Personally, I think we can discuss it at a later time. Um, balancing issues and matchmaking issues. I think the game is I have some issues with there, but again, I don't want to. There's no point I want to address that in. Um, but with Warwin's meet and the argument, I think everything kind of balances out to kind of this middle of the pack type of thing.
yeah, yeah, I mean they have two blockbusters on their hands. Both blockbusters are going strong. Issues withstanding. So I mean, I feel like that's solid.
Okay.
Um, let's do Square, my boys, my
They released
boys.
what? Octopath Traveler Zero. I know came out this year.
Yeah, Octopath
Uh,
Traveler 0. Um, they also released the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remakes, Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil's Chronicles, Saga Frontier 2 remastered, um, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth came to PC, but that was all they released this year. Um,
not a heavy year.
Not a heavy year at all. I've not gotten a chance to play Octopath Traveler 0 yet, but it reviewed really really well. Everybody loves the Dragon Quest remakes because HD 2D is fucking stellar. I have played Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil's Chronicles. Adding voice acting to that game alone has just made it like a completely different experience. It's fucking awesome. Um, so I would say honest. I mean, there's no heavy hitters in there to really punch up. So I would say probably above Netties, maybe below Netties, somewhere in the B
Yeah.
tier. Fine year. You release some games that people love.
Did anything happen
No
with Final Fantasy
issues.
14?
I'm sorry.
Did anything happen with Final Fantasy 14 this year?
I believe they released a new expansion. Let me see here. I think it was Dawn Trails, I believe it was.
I feel like Square should go below Embracer Group just
Oh
because
no,
like
Dawn
Embracer Group
Trails was
still had.
last year. Yeah, Dawn Trails was
Uh,
last year.
I feel like Square should go below Embracer just because like Embracer still had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where Square just didn't have a whole lot.
I mean, that's fair. I'm okay with that. I think B tier is just perfectly fine for them. Um I don't think they didn't do anything bad, but they didn't do anything like extravagant either. So I think that's totally fine. Yeah, Dawn Trail released last year.
Okay.
So
Uh,
yeah. I mean they kept ongoing support for Final Fantasy 14. I mean still the number 2 MMO, so
let's do. You know what? Let's do Xbox. Let's do that's a big one. Now
ooh buddy.
I think here's the thing. I think we should how we should frame the discussion. We should frame it as a third party publisher. I don't think we should frame it as a first party
Yes.
publisher
I
because
would agree with that.
the first party arm of them is collapsing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
going.
collapsing. We're just in the death knell of it. Basically, we're in the show. And that if we were talking about first party, I mean, you could argue first party. Well, first party like console side of it, Xbox. I mean, that's D tier at that point. But let's not talk about it that way. Let's talk because there Halo's going to PlayStation.
Yep.
Call of Duty's everywhere now.
Gears is already on PlayStation. Forza's already on PlayStation. Like,
Yeah, they're first party, a third
yeah,
party publisher now. So that's
yeah.
true like that.
So
Um, Go ahead.
looking
Go ahead.
looking at this year, we'll start with Bethesda. Bethesda released Oblivion Remastered, Doom: The Dark Ages, um, a updated version of Fallout 4. Um, yeah, that's all Bethesda.
Activision released Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which was a steaming pile of crap.
Yes, yes. Xbox themselves released Gears of War Reloaded, as well as Outer Worlds 2, as well as Ninja Gaiden 4, as well as Keeper, as well as Grounded 2,
South
as
of
well as
Midnight.
South of Midnight and Avowed. Um, so yeah. Um, it's crazy. You become third party and then you just start releasing games like like it's your job or something.
Yeah.
Um, Outer Worlds 2 reviewed really, really well. So did Ninja Gaiden 4.
Outlaws
Gears of
2 is
War
fantastic.
Gears of War Reloaded didn't do as well. There's some technical issues with that one. Everybody that has played Keeper said it's pretty good. I personally have played a little bit of Avowed. It's a really good Bethesda game. um,
Obsidian.
but yes, but it plays like Skyrim.
Yeah, that's fair.
South of Midnight is extremely good. Um, so
I feel like as a third party publisher, I think again, I argue with what you say. Their argument game was Call of Duty Black Ops 7 because that game is
mhm,
dog shit.
that
And that's
was
your
their worst game.
and that's because that's your. I don't know. Here's what I think. Either I'm thinking low A or high B, just because like how much damage is Black Ops 7 doing to them? Because everything else is pretty solid.
I think we put him in low A to honor the fact that Xbox for the first year in a long time did have a good amount of games show up at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
South of Midnight 1, 2, um Avowed's pretty decent. Like I think low A's good for them,
Yeah.
but if
And
I were Microsoft, I'd get my head in over at Activision and be like, "Hey, fuck's going on over here?"
yeah, Black Ops 7. Like, that is a black eye and a relatively decent year, honestly. Because like you played South of Midnight and you said it was fantastic. I played it through all Our Worlds 2. Our Worlds 2 is fantastic. Like I can see someone's arguing the first one's better, but I could also argue the second one's better. But generally, I'm not sure how well it sold. I hope it did well enough because I would like a 3.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I said before. I think Obsidian is their best studio. I think Obsidian's great.
yeah, one of them.
And
Yeah,
honestly, I'll buy Avowed when it comes to PlayStation. So, um, and then I think as I was saying just a moment ago, yes, their first party, their console site is collapsing, but with Halo going on PlayStation now, and it's pretty much over. That's gonna do it. I think the fact that they do seem to be picking a lane of being a third party publisher instead, they have found a groove, and I think that's commendable.
they just need to come out and say it. They just need to rip the band-aid
Yeah,
off. They just need to come
yeah,
out and
agree,
say
agree.
it. And I think the reason why they're not coming out and saying it is because they don't want to lose the Game Pass subscribers. But like
Yes.
it ain't about the Game Pass subscribers, dude. Now it's how
Yeah.
many games you could sell on PlayStation, PC, and Switch. Like that's what it's about. Like
Yeah,
it,
and the fact that Game Pass went to $30 this year, like, but as what they publish, very good.
yeah, yeah. They had actually like a good year. Like, well done. Keep it up.
Do more of that. Less of the other crap.
Oh, let's talk about Ubisoft. Jesus
Good old Ubi
Christ.
shit. Good old Ubi shit.
Jesus Christ. Poor Ubisoft, man.
The
That's not true.
kings of mid.
And they did not help themselves this year.
Nope.
um,
Sunscreen Shadow, which was mid.
yeah, it was mid, but I mean, it released and didn't have a lot of problems. So I think that's pretty good. I think we can like say a
What
little
a
bit above mid.
What a
Um,
bummer for Ubisoft.
they
It didn't
also
come out too many
released
problems.
they also released the Rogue Prince of Persia, which is a really cool roguelike take on Prince of Persia, kind of harkening back to its like original roots, which is pretty cool. And then they also released Anno 117 Pax Romana, which is an RTS. So
I think
I
Bloodtake too.
I And they also did an update for Avatar to coincide with the new movie. That's their biggest shit this year.
I think below Take Two. I think that's where they should go.
Yeah,
Because I mean, Take Two put out a lot, other good stuff like Borderlands 4, you just got stuff like that, and Assassin's Creed Shadows it was okay. Like that was it couldn't keep my interest. Like it was fine, but I never finished it. So, um, I think the problem is they wanted to try and do like the the more unstructured plot thing, and it just didn't help it at all. Because that's kind of lost focus. So I don't know. It had its issues still. In fact, I think they already canceled some DLC for it, so
yes,
it's
they
not
did.
doing so hot. Yeah, so I think right between Take Two and Riot, I think is where they should go.
Yeah, they've really got to work out what's going on over there. I also don't think it helped that they delayed it to this year because this year we knew Ghost of Yotei was going to come out, so I'm sure a lot of people were just like, "That is definitely Ghost of Yotei at home. I'll just wait to get Ghost of Yotei."
And apparently, Ghost of Yotei's structure is fairly similar to Shadows. Like,
Yeah,
the
there's like
how
six targets. You can kind of counter them. You can kind of tackle them in any order, something like that.
yeah, but they just did it better. So yeah, Ubisoft I think is a good C tier.
Yeah, like Ubisoft's A is someone else's C.
Yeah. All right, Bandai.
What did I
What did
so they did Elden Ring Night Rain this year, I believe. Oh, they did a lot of shit this year. Hold up, I'm still scrolling. Hold up.
Oh,
They did a lot of shit this year.
it
Okay,
didn't feel like they did.
so they did Freedom Wars remastered, Tales of Grace's F remastered, Bleach Rebirth of Souls, Gundam Suit, Mobile Gundam Suit Seed Battle Destiny remastered, Elden Ring Night Rain, Battle Train, Patapon 1 and 2 replay, Shadow Labyrinth, which was that Pac-Man Metroidvania.
Oh yeah, I
Everybody's
want to
Golf
shut up.
Hot Shots, Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, which is like their MOBA. Toa and the Guardian of the Sacred Tree, Pac-Man Real World Repack, Pac-Man World 2 Repack, Digimon Story Time Stranger, Little Nightmares 3, Once Upon a Katamari, and Tales of Xillia Remastered was their 2025. Fuck ton
It's
of
not
stuff.
bad. There's a lot of stuff. I know they also continue doing Tekken 8 stuff, and Tekken 8 did not have a very good season 2, honestly. Um,
Create
so
the
creator of Tek,
director, yeah,
the creator and director of Harada left. He's not retiring, but he left Bandai. So a lot of stuff. Not the whole. Some bad in there. Some good. Night Ring. I think from that type of resume. I think because nothing felt like it stands out as much as what EA put out with Battlefield 6 and Split Fiction, but I do feel like it's a solid enough list to keep it out of like C tier.
I mean, Night Rain and Time Stranger were two of the highest rated games of the year.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, I guess I mean
You can leave them
Night
there.
Rain's good.
I think they're tied with EA. That's what
Yeah.
my thing was. I think they're
Okay.
tied with EA because I think if I think that Bandai obviously put out a lot more, and yeah, there was some not great stuff, but I think the stuff that they did put out was on a similar level to what EA put out, so they're tied. You can leave them there for whatever sake, but I in my opinion, I think that they're like dead even
That's fair. I agree with that. That's fair.
because Time Stranger is very very good, and Night Rain, while it started off slow, people are really really liking it, especially after the first DLC. So
Yeah. I didn't get around to trying it. I fully forgot about it. That Pac-Man Labyrinth game looked really interesting.
it's on sale on Steam right now for $20.
That's not bad. Not bad. I look into that.
Yeah, let's talk about Nintendo. I think that this one is where we're gonna have some different opinions on as well.
Yeah, it was a interesting year. I mean, obviously the big thing for them this year was the Switch 2, like
Yes,
the release of that console.
yes,
And I mean, I do think generally the Switch 2 is a good console. Like,
yes,
I don't even think the Switch 2 is priced fairly. The Switch 2 console itself is
yes,
priced fairly.
yes.
Um, very capable unit. It feels like a capable unit for what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not PS5 strength, but it's a tablet, so of course it wasn't going to be. Um, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza is phenomenal.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
But
why is Mario Kart World $80?
yeah, that's my first but. I do not understand why that game is worth $80. It's not worth $80. I honestly, I'd feel a little bit cheated if I paid $60 for it, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is also $60 and is a
It's
way
better.
better game.
Better. That's not a question. And here's the thing: Mario Kart World's $80. If you buy the expansion for Mario Kart 8, which is $30, it's $90. But you're getting so much more. So for $10 more, you get way more Mario Kart in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah,
So
way
yeah,
more. It's like, I feel like it's like 3 times the amount of content.
it is. I would have felt the same way. Yeah.
Like
Um.
I would love to know when this game started development and stuff, because this game feels so like last minute rush job. Like the quality is still there. Like, is it still a Mario Kart game? Sure. But like the stages are just so uninspired, you know.
There are some tracks in Mario Kart World I like a lot. Honestly, I
Yeah.
would argue the Rainbow Road in this game maybe one of the best.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would say that doesn't help a lot. But
Yeah.
I would say the character selection screen is abysmally bad.
Yeah.
So there's some weird things. Honestly, the 24 driver thing, it sounds good, cool on paper. It was just too chaotic, I think.
I don't mind that as much. I wish there was a way that you could go back down to 12. Like, I wish there was like
Yes.
a 12
Yes.
a 12 racer a 12 racer mode versus the 24 racer mode. I mean, aside
Also,
from
what I
Mario,
wish, also I wish the Mario Kart World, they wish they would like if you're playing like a versus race like with friends, you have to just select the tracks in the world map. It's like I wish you just like a list of tracks,
yeah,
please. That'd be nice.
and I wish there was a way that you didn't have to drive between them.
For no more Grand Prix, yeah, that would be. Dear God,
Yeah,
there's issues with Mario Kart World.
yeah, which we did talk about in our Mario Kart World review that you can check out on the channel. I'll try to put a link somewhere in the ether, but $80 for that. My
No.
God. $10 for the welcome tour, which should have just been a pack-in game. Drag X Drive,
Uh,
game of the year contender. Drag X Drive. A little bit of a higher note. Pokemon ZDA, better, steps in the right direction. Did enjoy it. It won't be my most disappointing game of the year this year. Kudos to you, Game Freak. It's taking a step up. Didn't play the new Hyrule Warriors. Want to play the new
no.
Hyrule Warriors. Then we get to Metroid Prime 4. We're still doing a review for Metroid Prime 4. I will not say much. I have significant issues with Metroid Prime 4. So,
I don't have significant issues. I think some of the issues are overblown. Some of the issues I do think are there. I don't think they are. The only thing I'll say is before, because I wanted to do a review for it. The only thing I'll say with regarding Metroid Prime 4 is yes, it is not as good as Prime 1. No, it's not. It's just obviously not. But I think people are a little overblowing on it because and acting like it's worse than other M. If you legitimately believe Metroid Prime 4, and there are some people I know you don't,
yeah.
but there are some people if people act like are generally act like other M is a better game than Metroid Prime 4. You're not a serious person if you believe that. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
you're not a serious person. That's clown behavior. There are some issues with Prime 4, but they are fixable. Like okay, we can move time in the oven, screw some bolts here and there. They're recoverable, easily recoverable problems.
Yeah.
Other M nearly killed the franchise. Prime 4 is not going to do that.
Yeah.
At all.
No. Yeah, I don't have hyperbolic takes like that. I do think that Metroid Prime 4 is lacking a lot of the spirit of other Metroid games, which we'll get way more into when we do the review for it.
Yeah, we're going to do a review for that. But
But specifically, the two things that I think of that hurt Nintendo's year are Mario Kart World and Metroid Prime 4 are the two things that kind of bring down Nintendo a little bit from me. I
Um,
think that
my
they should go
go ahead.
in low A behind Xbox
Yeah, that's
on
fair. Okay.
on the back of me liking the Switch 2, and I like some of the improvements that they made. But what holds them back from being higher than PlayStation, from being higher than Xbox and Konami and Sega is three things. This fucking chat button is fucking stupid.
I've hit that button accidentally so many times.
It's fucking stupid. If it was a little Discord face and I could use Discord, we'd be having a completely different conversation. It's fucking
Mm-hmm.
stupid. I don't know why you tried to do it. Mario Kart 8 World is so disappointing, and I was pretty disappointed in Metroid Prime 4. But Z to A was pretty decent actually, and Donkey Kong Bonanza is like top 3, top 4 game of the year, top 5 game of the year. So good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not disappointed. I mean, I'm the bigger Metroid fan of between the two of us. I'm not as disappointed in Prime 4 as a lot of people are. I do acknowledge some of its faults, but I don't think it doesn't. It's not weighing Nintendo's year down for me. I'm still happy it's here. Like genuinely, I'm genuinely happy it exists. I'm not like full in this point like, oh, wait 18 years for this. Like, no, I'm just like, you know what? I'm genuinely happy it's still here. Like Mario Kart World to me was the biggest slight on Nintendo's eye. Like, yeah, the Welcome Tour is stupid, but it's whatever. Mario Kart World is like the uh, I expect better from that because this is like Metroid is not Nintendo's premier franchise at all. Like never has been. Mario Kart, you could argue, is because one, it's part of Mario, but also copies of Mario Kart 8 got sold. Mario Kart is typically the best-selling game on every Nintendo console.
Yeah.
Like how the failures of that game are its biggest black eye. Generally, it didn't feel like that first month of having a Switch 2. While yes, I could play other games like wow, my frame rates are stable. Oh, that was great. But for Switch 2 games, I did like wow, I bought a Switch 2 for this game.
Yep.
Really? Donkey Kong Bonanza though, that was like, oh yeah, this is what I bought a Switch 2 for.
Yeah.
That game excites me for what the Switch 2 is capable of and what Nintendo can really do for Nintendo's like really good stuff. So yeah, I think low A. There come a few missteps, but I think low A is good for them right behind Xbox.
I will say Nintendo needs to get out a Nintendo Direct very early on this year
Yes,
because
I want. They're not going to do one in January because they never do.
yeah,
February. I think they're going to do one in February. As they normally do that. So I'm willing to wait till February. When February starts, I'm gonna go, okay, where's the Direct Nintendo? But
yeah,
I'm willing to wait till February.
because for a launch year, this was a little light from Nintendo. It was a little
Yeah,
light.
what is good Switch One launch year? We'll say
Yeah,
that.
because Switch 1 launch year, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Super Mario Odyssey, um, yeah, like that's a fucking release year. So I think next year we have that Pokemon, Animal Crossing fucking game, and I think the new Fire Emblem are the two things that are like,
Yes, yes. But they need to announce some more. Dust Bloods gonna be a big one.
that's true, that's true. Can't wait to see how the fuck that works out on the Switch.
That's fair.
I trust Bandai and I trust FromSoft, but like that seems like that's dubious to me. Like,
It's a
are you
weird. I mean,
sure your ambitions are going to work? Because apparently the Elden Ring release on Switch 2 got delayed because it's not working. So yeah,
yeah, but we'll see. I'll give them.
yeah,
We'll see what Miyazaki does in FromSoft. All right, well, enough about Nintendo. Let's move on to the indie games this year. And we've said this multiple times throughout the year that this was the year of the indies. And really, they are the best this year. Like,
yes,
this is the strongest they've ever been. We didn't do indie games last year than this. I don't know if we would put an S tier like we this year are, but I mean, like, we mentioned at the beginning of the show that there are some weird definitions being thrown out because like Kepler and Devolver, they publish indie games, but that doesn't make how do you publish an indie game? It doesn't make any sense. but it's just kind of the world we live in now. So we're just kind of accepted that weird definition. Um, but there's been an outstanding year for indie games. I mean, the obviously get the game of the year winner across the board for most publications, Expeditionary 33, and like we still need to do a review for that.
Yeah.
But that game is crazy. Like just it is. A lot of people complain about it winning all how many awards it won at Game Awards. I don't. I it's not my. Here's the thing. We'll get to my game of the year on our coming into your episode. Like a few weeks or so. But like, I totally understand why it won a game of the year. Like it's
Yeah.
wholly obvious. Like it's understandable. Hollow Knight Silk Song, while kind of not my cup of tea to an extent, I'm not really into the FromSoft, really difficult dev games. There is a lot of quality there, like straight up. Like the hand drawn is beautiful. And arguably, yeah, the game is frustrating. Here's the thing, I kind of like Silk Song a lot better than Hollow Knight 1, honestly. Um, and then other games, I mean, is there any games you want to shout out before I keep going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, I've made no secret Clair Obscur is my game of the year. It will be my game of the year. Sorry to spoil my list. You just have to be excited for 2 through 9. And honestly, I
Okay.
like two's pretty locked in as well. So it's like, three to 10, But some other ones, I played a little bit of Blueprints, and I definitely see the vision. It's its atmosphere is very, very engrossing, and it's kind of a cozy game because there's not like combat or anything. You're just solving puzzles. It's really quite nice. Um, I played a lot of Ball X Pit. I
Yeah.
so I apologize. In our Devolver breakdown where we were like, "What you're doing a showcase for one game?" No, that one game's definitely good enough for its own showcase. Like it is so addicting.
Oh yeah, no, I texted you this the other day,
Yeah,
because I traveled to Memphis for New Year's to visit a friend, and I didn't drive, so I was like, okay, I need something to play. I didn't want to play Silk Song the entire way through. Like, I'll try Ball Pit. Cause you remember you showing me your place for Thanksgiving, and I played for myself. That crap's addicting as fuck. Like,
yeah.
holy
It's
crap.
just it's just so addicting. Like you talk about how addicting Hades 2 is. Like this is a similar level of addicting. It's like, if I did this ball combination, I would have had it. Like let's go again. And then obviously Hades 2 is
Yeah, so you just
spectacular.
mentioned Hades too.
Yeah,
Like, holy crap.
Hades
Like,
2 is spectacular. I want to shout out the current indie I'm playing, Seance of Black Manor. I have never played a game that has atmosphere as good as Seance of Black Manor. I think you should try it. You'll enjoy it. It's a mystery puzzle game. You're running around questioning people, finding evidence, confronting them with the evidence, trying to solve and save people from this calamity that's going to come out in this seance, while trying to figure out where this missing woman is. And everybody like had forgotten this missing woman until you showed back up and like, hey, where's this chick? It's very, very engrossing. Like I said, I don't think I've ever played a game with as like visceral atmosphere as this game. It's super good.
I'm gonna need you to
um
send me that game because I'm gonna look into that. That sounds really
Yeah,
good.
it's super good. Steam Deck compatible. So yeah, like this year was the year of the indie games and the double A games. I mean, it's it's
But I mean, we mentioned Hades 2 though. Like they took perfection of Hades 1 and built upon it. You perfected perfection. How do you do that?
yeah. I mean,
That is
same thing with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild Tear Kingdom. You perfected perfection. Hades 1 to Hades 2. You perfected perfection. Like what?
yeah. And then we're talking about
Other
you.
notable indies this year. Peak. I've played a lot of that this holiday season because it was on sale, and I bought myself and a couple of my friends it. That game is fucking hilarious. Mega Bonk. Do you like Vampire Survivors? Do you like 3D? Mega Bonk. Um, I've been playing an indie game called Kingdoms of the Dump. It's like a Chrono Trigger clone, but like with garbage like metaphors, made by two janitors. Very, very weird. Very, very good. Rift of the Necro Dancer, Unbeatable, two really, really great rhythm games that came out this year. I mean, it's it's fucking wild.
I've been playing one with a friend called Absalom,
Yep.
which is like this roguelike beat 'em up that's really good. I want to play more of it. It's so good. It's honestly one of the best feeling like beat 'em ups I've ever played. And when I heard about it, and then I was like, okay, that's interesting. And they're beating him up, and then like it's a roguelike on top of that. I'm like, that's as soon as I heard like, I was like, that clicked my brain, like that actually probably works really well, and it does. Um, and then you also mentioned what you're wearing on your shirt with Dispatch. I
Yep.
mean, both of us just like we I went back and like looked at our reaction to it was announced at the Game Awards. And both of them, again, as I said before, like we are like, yeah, this looks great. And in fact, you actually said it was looked phenomenal, which like little did you know.
I saw into the future.
um, but holy crap, did that game blow our expectations out of the water?
Yep.
I mean, we're gonna have so much. We had a 2.5 hour review for it. We both gave it a 10.
Yep.
First dual 10 of our channel. Like it's insane how good that game is. Um, so like I mean, yeah, I think while yes, it is a little weird to call indie games the best publisher because it's not actually a publisher. I think putting him here is a testament to the year we had because one in Game Awards half the nominees for the Game of the Year were indie games,
Yes.
and there could have been more.
Yeah.
I think we would miss of us to not highlight this fact because I mean it did feel like regarding the other normal publishers this year, there's something that's gone wrong for a lot of things. But I think the indie game's doing so well this year highlights really what's truly going wrong. A lot of these companies are just making games because they want nickel and dime. They want to extract money. Using Expeditionary 3 is a love letter to RPGs, JRPGs specifically. They found a dude on SoundCloud to make that soundtrack, and it is one of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
Um, the voice acting in that game, and they got Andy Serkis and Charlie Cox to help out with that game, and then Ben Starr and Jennifer English give the performance of their lives. Like, holy crap! I mean, Dispatch. I mean, getting Aaron Paul and a bunch of other YouTube streamers. Like, it's you can feel with Expeditionary 3, Dispatch, and a lot of other ones, the passion of just wanting to create a game because this is the game they want to play. See, this is a labor of love. And a lot of a lot of publishers don't have that feeling anymore. Um, like it's there's something about this year in particularly felt special about indie games. And that's why we decided to include them here because it just seemed like the obvious thing. Um, and I think if any of their publishers want to fix it, especially a lot of those are in the C tier area, look at indie games and going, okay, what do they have that we don't? And it's hard.
Yeah. And I'd say heart and being consumer minded as well. Not
We
to the point where
mentioned
not to the point where you're like sacrificing your vision, but like Capcom blaming the fucking PS5 price for the reason why Wilds isn't selling well. No, it's because you're not optimizing the game. You're not listening to people when they say, "Hey, this is a fucking problem."
Mhm.
Hades 2 was in early access for a year before officially releasing, and they took feedback. They improved the game over that year so that when it did release on Switch and in 1.0, it was feature complete with no issues.
Mhm. We mentioned we took some time kind of slapping Nintendo bro for charging $80 for Mario Kart World, but Expeditionary 3 is $50.
Yep.
Hades 2 is $30. Dispatch is $30. Hollow Knight Silksong is $20.
Yeah.
And all those games give considerable more value than Mario Kart World did.
And granted, their budgets were way different than Mario Kart World, I assume, but you still have to charge with the consumer in mind. Like Mario
And like
Kart 8 is not worth $60. It's not worth $70. It's not definitely not worth $80.
And here's the thing, with Nintendo specifically, like their budget was probably a bit more, sure, but it's Nintendo. They don't spend that much money on games compared to other publishers.
They don't.
So there's no way that the cost of Mario Kart World was high enough to justify charging $80,
No.
especially considering them knowing how much Mario Kart was going to sell.
They knew
It's
that
still
they had
selling well.
a captive market because everybody loves
But
Mario Kart, and it's the only game releasing on your system.
hmm but games like Super Mario 3, yeah, I mean, you understand, like, yeah, they didn't have a catch up market, with Super Mario 3. There are other JRPGs out there, but they charge a reasonable price. We just want you to play our game. Dispatch, I mean, Dispatch, you could say, is a little bit of a captive market because, like, that whole genre was dead,
Yeah.
basically. Um, but they created a labor of love and just said, "Hey, we want you to try this game." Um, in Dispatch's case, like, it released episodically like a normal table game, but their brilliant strategy was doing it weekly instead of like wild months of time in between. Um, so on Steam alone, this is just Steam alone because it also was on PlayStation. The first week, the first episode dropped, it had about 60 to 70,000 players at a peak on the first week. The word of mouth got so strong for Dispatch, or of course, once it was released, that by the final 2 episodes, it was like 260,000 playing simultaneously on Steam.
Hmm.
Because they just created an amazing game. An amazing game that, like, okay, for a genre that was functionally dead. So, like, so there is so much heart. The indie games this year showed that we beat this drum all year. We're going to beat it one last time for the year. Like, the double A's and the indie games are what really carry this year through.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, nothing could even come close. And yeah, I think it's notable that all three of the big three are in the A tier. Like all three of them had great years, but all three of
Mm-hmm.
them, you know, could not compete with what the indie and double A scene was putting out. Konami had probably its best year in God knows how long. Couldn't compete with the indie and the double A scene. Sega, towards the top of the list, second year in a row, still just couldn't reach the pinnacle of Hades 2 and Silksong and Blueprints and Clair Obscure and Dispatch and so many others that weren't named. So AAA gaming, I think, is gonna have to have a come to Jesus reckoning kind of moment where they look inward and go, okay, this isn't sustainable. I cannot pump $1 billion into a game and expect to get $1 billion back. It's just not feasible. How can we fix this? And it's by shit like
Mm-hmm.
this, double A games, stuff that doesn't cost as much but can still be packed full of content and quality that it generates more money than was put into it. It's
Mm-hmm.
called profit, you dumbasses.
I mean, Ice Mario 3 was probably the most expensive, like, indie game of this bunch to make. But his budget was only like $10 million. Well, only $10 million is a lot of money. But, like, for budgets in the AAA space, that's relatively low. $10 million. But yeah, I guarantee they made it back by now. And they've gotten so many flowers
Oh yeah,
for it now. So it's like, maybe you don't need to spend $300 million on a game to do this. Maybe.
because it sold 6 million copies. That was $50. Yeah, they've made $300 million back. I'm sure,
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's just gross sales. We won't know what their net was. Well, that's just net. Yeah, gross and net are the same thing. That's just their gross sales. Obviously, we don't know how much of that's going to Kepler and everything like that. But they've more than made their money back for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know. Just like I said, there is problems that each of these other publishers are facing, and they need to look to indies and go, okay, what are they getting right and we're getting wrong? Because I can tell you, there's a lot of things, but again, especially that C tier area. You probably should be looking and going, why? How we have all the money in the world, yet our ass got kicked.
Yeah. Well, Ubisoft definitely doesn't have all the money in the world. They need to
No,
be extra careful.
yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, that's the moral. That's the moral of 2025 is AAA gaming took a big hit this year, and they need to figure it out. They need to figure it out. It means lower budgets, means green lighting projects that are a little outside the box.
I mean, you just mentioned Ubisoft, like, I don't remember, but like both Expeditionary 3 and Dispatch were made by people who used to work at Ubisoft, and Ubisoft didn't want to fund those games.
Dumb
And now who's
ass.
and And now who's holding a bunch of money right now? Ad hoc and Sandfall.
Yeah. Like green lighting projects that maybe don't maybe they're not going to guarantee, lots of revenue, but they could be good. Like
Mhm.
um cultivating new ideas instead of laying them off is so much more important. So that's what AAA gaming needs to do. And if they don't, sucks to be them because the AA indie game scene's gonna go strong.
Mhm.
But that is gonna lock in our tier list for 2025. Indie games at the top, WB at the bottom again, where they deserve to be. Maybe next year they'll get up to C tier with Lego Batman. Who knows? Who knows? But I think this is a strong tier list. I think it is indicative of the year as a whole. Um, Let us know in the comments where the publisher would land on your own tier list. Yeah,
Mhm.
who was your favorite publisher? Was it any game? Was it Konami? Was it Sega? Was it Nintendo? Let us know in the comments, and we will be back soon with a look at 2025's news year as a whole.
All right. Adios.